Let's invite our guest, Manish Kudwani, Senior Fund Manager at ICICI Prudential AMC, joins us in our studio. Morning, Manish. Good to have you with us in the studio. Well, it's looking extremely, bright and cheerful this morning. What is the sense? Is this market looking like that 8,500 everyone called for 12 months down the line? Are we in the start of a bull run that looks intact for at least the next couple of years?
Well, although we don't put numbers to the target where we are going to be in 12 months, but on a longer term basis, we think we are in a very healthy market. We have a very positive outlook on equities. Simply based on the fact that if you look at equities on three broad dimensions, one is macroeconomics, one is valuation, and one is the ownership of equities, at least in India. If you see ownership, the equity MF AUM to bank deposit ratio is at multi-decade low right now. If you look at valuation, they are at long-term averages, but you also at the start of an economic revival cycle, which generally sees very healthy earnings growth and which tends to surprise the street. So you take that into consideration, and the fact that the macro in terms of our big issues in terms of inflation and current account deficit seem to be behind us. And if you look at real-time data in terms of IIP, two-wheeler sales, PMIs, there is fair indication that the cycle is going to turn around. You put all of that in the context, then you add a structural change in the political environment where we've got a one-party majority. Obviously, it portends a very healthy market.
But these macros problems that you see are behind us: current account deficit, you didn't say fiscal deficit, obviously it's a work in progress, and inflation. All this could look a little ugly if the Iraq issue persists and crude goes to 120 instead of 110. Will that postpone the gains? Are you going to get a dip when the market comes to terms with it, if that were to happen?
Sure. I mean, without getting complacent, typically bull markets climb a wall of worry. There's no time in equities where you will not have some worries. At this point, these look to be short-term worries, but obviously you'll have to calibrate your posture depending on how both the monsoon and the Iraq issue pan out. But just to come back to the fiscal deficit, for example, I think that'll be solved more by growth than by expenditure cuts. So that is usually a lagging indicator. So in terms of leading indicators, I think we are fine.
Okay. Manish, first of all, good morning. Also, what kind of valuations do you think this market could justify now? What is your expectation as far as the Sensex EPS is concerned, say in 12 months from now?
So on a composite basis, I think we are at about 16 times. But as I said, it is the FY 16 and 17 numbers which will start to matter more and more from here on. And generally our experience is when the economic cycle takes off, it's difficult to model earnings, especially of cyclicals. So again, I mean, where would the peak PE be? It's very difficult to forecast that. All we can say is this is a fairly attractive PE for domestic investors to enter the market.
What is the working EPS growth you are working with, 15 and 16?
I think it's roughly in that 12-13% range. But as I said, it's really difficult for anyone to model how the cyclical earnings will grow. So in that sense, if you look at it on a long-term price to book or long-term earnings adjusted for the cycle, then depending on the stock, you can choose stocks which are attractive. I mean, we're not saying that every stock is attractive at this point of time, but if you adjust for the cycle, there are a fair amount of stocks, especially in banking, infra and mid-cap space, which are looking quite attractive.
Let me put a pointed question to you. What is the expectation as far as the budget is concerned in terms of which is the sector that could see maximum weightage this time around, and a sector in which you would want to take positions in advance before the budget?
So well, you're trying to make me read Modi's mind, but but I think, see, the well-known expectations are GST and divestment, etc. But I think one dark horse is an encouragement to financial savings, because one of the lacuna in this economy has been that over the last 2-3 years, you've seen financial savings drop versus physical savings. And that has also been responsible for this persistently high interest rate regime.
So how will you play it in the markets?
So I think financial sector itself has a lot of segments, whether you take insurance, NBFC or banks also. So I think that sector can be a doghouse.
What will you play as subsectors? Will you play NBFC, private banks, PSU banks? What will be your personal preference?
Again, that will be very stock specific, Lata. I don't think you can take a broad brush.
No, I take your point because I understand even when at the FSDC the regulators met the finance minister, the strong point appears to be to expand the ATCC,
Right.
rebates and allow more rebates for financial savings. Sorry, Sonia.
Okay, no, I just wanted to understand, I mean, everyone's recommending the cyclical recovery and infra, power, etc. But in a slow and steady manner, you're seeing a pickup in defensives as well, IT
Right.
stocks, etc. Would you advise a higher, allocation to IT at this juncture just because of how attractive it looks?
Again, I think what has happened is a valuation normalization which was pretty sharp.
Yeah.
So one of the interesting data points I came across was on a 2-year basis. Today the sectoral indices of IT, auto and capital goods, which have varying links with the economy, the returns are actually broadly the same. So what has happened is the cyclicals have rebounded quite sharply over the last 6 months. But given that, as I said, if the domestic economic recovery is quite probable, that is why our bent is still towards cyclicals. But you're correct that obviously if the cyclicals start performing consistently over next few quarters, then the defensives in terms of valuation will start looking more and more attractive again.
Okay. Nevertheless, what would be the top sectors that you will bet on over the next 12 months, which will run harder than the others?
So you can divide it into 2 buckets. One is your structural bucket and probably a more recovery bucket. The structural bucket, we've always backed sectors like private banks, auto ancillaries. On a more high beta recovery bet, I think a lot of sectors like PSU banks, etc. still look quite attractive.
Okay. I was going through your report where you say that the mid-caps will benefit from multiple degrees of freedom as the cycle turns. So for an average investor, do you suggest that one should be a little aggressive and put their money into specifically mid-cap and small-cap funds?
Yeah, I think today a mid-cap fund is more attractive than a large-cap fund. That is the call we are taking. Because both in terms of operating leverage and financial leverage, the mid-caps have a bigger delta in earnings coming through when the economy revives. So I think that makes sense.
Okay. So any sectoral funds that you would recommend, or should it just be broad-based now? I mean, because you're saying that infrastructure, etc. will do
So I think
well.
the infrastructure fund looks interesting, obviously, if you want to play the domestic recovery. But otherwise, our mid-cap funds like Discovery and mid-cap fund are also good propositions at this point of time.
All right, Manish. Pleasure speaking with you. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much
Lata.
for joining us with
Thank
your
you.
thoughts.